getting more flavor on it. Even my understanding needs improvement. Okay, so that's an area that I sense I can get more light on. I can get more truth on that word and do more study on it and be able to share more. Isn't that cool how you feel like when you've reached a boundary, now it motivates you to dig more in that gold vein until you get all the gold out of it, and then you can have your darkness, dark corners regarding an understanding of a specific word, you can blow those away. Isn't that cool? When I explore an area, when I explore a map, I'm an explorer's explorer. I just want to cross off the whole map. I want to walk the whole territory so that nothing is black. So that I've seen everything in the region. So that I am knowledgeable of it all. You know, that's what obviously our knowledge is like. Eliminate darkness in your understanding of all things. Judge not, you shall not be judged. Condemn not, divides by 3. And then this is awesome. A good man, for of the abundance of the heart his mouth speaketh. That whole phrase divides by 3, and then mouth plus speak divides by 3, and then good man divides by 3 equals Jehovah. Good words equals 120. Good man, good words. And then at the end, Jesus says, "He who heareth and doeth." Okay, so that was the obvious gem there. Hear plus do. Whoever heareth plus doeth my sayings. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else I want to share on that. That's probably pretty good. This is my favorite though. I mean, this is insane. Talk about a condensed pile. Love, do good, bless, pray. Notice that 2 of these things involve speaking. Okay. And then we're supposed to be merciful. Merciful, every letter divides by 3 except the M-E at the beginning, 18. What is merciful? Be therefore merciful as your Father also is merciful. Merciful is, you just, 27, 30, 42, 51. I believe merciful equals truth. Okay, is there anything else I'd like to share from Luke chapter 6? Notice how every time God has been showing me how Jesus was all about relationship, and he opposed just rules for rules' sake and religion for religion's sake. This is a classic example. One of my favorites is when Jesus drives the people out of the temple and says, this place is a place for prayer, that is relationship, personal relationship between God and man. It's not a place for business. Even so-called religious business. Okay? So again, relationship, not religion. Relationship, not transactions. No, personal relationship. Personal relationship between God and man. And here it is again at the beginning of Luke chapter 6. The disciples are walking through the cornfields and they're just eating the corn. And the Pharisees, the non-relational guys that are into religion and rules and control and stuff, say, why aren't they doing what is lawful to not do on the Sabbath? Okay. And then Jesus tells the story of David. Says that he went into the house of God and ate showbread and gave some to eat with those who were with him. Okay. This is a big plug for the health of the human body. Okay. God has said to me on occasion, eat until you're satisfied. Physical food, physically. And here we see David just getting bread from the temple because he was hungry. His body needed it, and your body is the temple. So, and gave also to them, and which is not lawful to eat, but for the priests alone. What is Jesus saying in this story? Once again, he's like the human body, the human temple is expensive. And he said unto them, the Son of Man is Lord also of the Sabbath. And And then another place he says, man, the Sabbath was made for man and not man for the Sabbath. Stretch forth thy hand to. Okay. This is my favorite treasure hunt. This is my favorite find. This is a big one I just want to preach on. Just the disciple is not above his master, but everyone that is perfect shall be as his master. Who are you following? Who are you following? Whoever you are following, that's who you're going to be like. Whew, scary stuff. Scary stuff. There's been a lot of people in world history, and there's a lot of people alive on this planet right now. Who are you following? I just got to plug in this camera because it's telling me the battery is about to die. But that's fine. I'll just tilt it back down. Come on. Whatever. It's a little bit finicky. Oh, please. Wow. I apologize for this. Whatever. The disciple is not above his master, but everyone that is perfect shall be as his master. The disciple is not above his master. Like, who are you following? Who are you hearing from? There's billions of people in world history. There's a lot of people alive currently. You are being influenced by these people. Okay. But you should be hearing from God. It's like you need to be drawing near to God, and He will draw near to you. That's why listening to God in silence, with deliberation, is probably the most important thing in the life of any human being. And that's where you'll grow. The disciple is not above his master, but everyone that is perfect shall be as his master. Do you want to be like this teacher? Folks, that's why I dropped the course, the one course at Trinity Western University. And children need to have the strength to do this. And say, look at that person that's standing in front of the classroom. And think to yourself, do I want to be like this person? Do I want to look like they look at that age? Like, overweight, shriveled, like grumpy, nasty? Do I want to have the non-love that they have in their voice and the non-truths that they're talking about? No. Well, then leave. Leave. It's, children are crying out for father figures. We all are. Heck, I am. It's like, we want to follow someone that we actually respect. Okay? Honestly, folks, a big sign for me when in anyone that's going to speak or something is what does the guy's physical body look like? Is he even in shape? Does he know how to take care of his body, which is the temple of the Holy Ghost? If he doesn't know how to take care of his body, if he doesn't look like he's in great shape, if he doesn't look healthy, then why would I listen to a dead man? Like, who wants to listen to a dead... But these are the people that are in universities. Some of the most unsightly creatures are standing in front of your children at colleges, universities, high schools, elementary schools, and giving them orders and telling them what to do. This is madness. I would never send my children to stand in front of some guy that looks like hell. Okay? They've got to be in shape. They've got to look good. Jesus was not 50 pounds overweight and looking like a slob when he talks to people. It's like, when did that become excusable in various places? Man, you can meditate on this one a long time. Like, I would, like, who are you following? Who are you following? Follow God. Follow Jesus. Spend as much time in the personal presence of God as you can. If there isn't a human being that's filled with the Spirit of God, like, you be that person by spending time with Jesus. The disciple is not above his master. It's like, man. Oh, man. Ultimately, everyone should follow God directly. Everyone should be seeking a personal relationship with God and cherishing that above any other human relationship they have. Period. No matter how good a speaker, now how good a teacher, your personal relationship with God the Father is the most precious thing there is. I love that. The disciple's not above his master. It's like, I think students need, man, I weep for the young people. I love young people. I'm like, they need to be given a fair chance. They deserve a real teacher. They deserve someone who actually cares. Okay. I can't speak on this one enough because I've been through retarded education. Hell, really. So I would just, this applies to everything in life, like companies, whatever. It's like if the CEO of your company, if the leader of your company isn't inspiring, I'm like, man, pray to God for something to change and just walk off the job site even, or get out of there. I do believe that God will provide for you, like, as you put Him first. And just, okay. So, who do you want to be like? Well, we should want to be like Jesus, so we got to spend time with Jesus. Alright, so I'm starting to feel good about what we've just... It's just amazing to me how, when you do the math on these phrases, it just hits it home to you. Jesus talks about my sayings, my words. It's like both phrases divided by 3, and then study it longer. He that heareth my sayings and doeth them. Okay. Now, at the beginning of chapter 7, now when he had ended all his sayings in the audience of the people. So, yes, sir, Christians need to practice speaking. So this is my favorite. This is my favorite gem here. This is my favorite gem from that chapter 6, as far as the numbers are concerned, and a real obvious, just solid fest here. Love, do good, bless, pray. And then you can say, put the word for and people in there, like love people. That divides by 3. By the way, the word people equals Jehovah. When you love people, you're actually loving Jehovah Himself. That's what Jesus told us when He said, when you do it unto the least of one of these, you did it unto me. The people that got to heaven said, Lord Jesus, when did we see you hungry and fed you? And He said, actually, when you did it for people, you were doing it for me. So that's a great mathematical gem, that the word people equals Jehovah. So love people equals love Jehovah. Love people divides by 3. Do good for people divides by 3. Bless people divides by 3. Pray for people divides by 3. God is speaking to me in particular about spoken word. And I've been adding up the story of my life up until now, and I can see that that's a pattern of God's orchestration in my life. Okay. I had, and still have, parents that make it feel like you need to be very succinct in what you say. very careful with your words. Well, I think that's important for someone in leadership. Because if you say a wrong word, people don't like it. Did you hear? He actually said that. You're just like, oh my goodness. Oh, people. Did you hear what he said? I can't believe he said that. Just words are important, man. But it's an obvious passion of mine, spoken word and how good or not good it is. So, like the fact that bless and pray are two spoken word things. When you bless those who curse you. That's about talking, about speaking. Pray is using words. You can pray without speaking by using words in your mind. Okay, you can pray to God without opening your mouth. Okay, using words in your mind. Of course, I personally believe that prayer is more listening than it is talking to God. Okay. Meditation, the root of pray and the root of meditate both divide by 3. They're two of my favorite words. Anyways. Okay. But these, in my opinion, are clearly related to words. That's 50%. Like, that's 50% of this whole, fourfold cluster here. Bless others, pray for others. Well, you're using words when you do that. We've got a ton of lies. Jesus said the prophets are like the greatest. Well, the prophets were word people. We have so many lies regarding manhood today, it's not even funny. The prophets were not lifting weights at the gym to get beefy muscles so they could be attractive to ignorant females. That's what we have today, as some people's definition of manhood. The prophets were not taking orders from godless companies in order to collect money, in order to build fancy houses and drive fancy chariots. Like, can you imagine the prophet Elijah, killing himself in secular companies so he can get those gold rims on his gold chariot so he could look good when he... It just makes you start laughing. When he rides through town, the prophet Elijah, he needed that gold chariot, he needed those gold rims, manufactured by, the BMW company of the day, and so he could have status materially in the community. It's nonsense to think about. But that's what we have today. I kid you not. In downtown Langley, there's 3 giant empires to the gods of automobile now. It just shows you the state of what people believe about manhood. It's nonsense. Lies about manhood. It's no, words are king. Jesus called the prophets king. Those who heard the voice of God. Those who communicated truth to the people about God. What other lies about manhood? He that collects money. He that, pleases his godless master. You gotta be kidding me. He that climbs to the top of a godless company. He that collects as much money as he can from the market of people that are lost and don't have the knowledge of God. And people are applauding this. Saying, oh, go Warren Buffett, what a great leader. What a great leader. Man, he collects money better than anyone on earth. Wow. What a man, Warren Buffett. Oh, what a man. I want to be like Warren Buffett. I want to get as much money collected into myself as I possibly can. What a man. This is what is being applauded. This is what men are thinking. Up here. It's madness. Read what Jesus said about money. For the truth. He says you cast that stuff to the poor as fast as you can. And you trust God for your daily provision. There was one great saint, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, he says, as soon as I get money into my hands, I get it out as quickly as I can, lest it find a place into my heart. Jonathan Wimber, is one of the great English preachers. But, man, like, what are men? What are men chasing? What is defined as manhood these days? There's just so many wrong spirits and wrong beliefs in the minds of men about what makes a man. Here's a big one, and I have to preach this. A man is someone who worships a woman. Ooh, that's tantalizing. Isn't it tantalizing for the women to hear? Oh, he has given himself to a woman. I'm like, if he doesn't know Christ, he's missed the command of God, which is, no, you worship Christ. Jesus says, if any man comes to me and doesn't hate all the other human beings in this world, and in particular his family, by comparison to how much he loves me, he says he can't be my disciple. Literally anything or anyone that you worship higher than Jesus is sin. And of course, the most common thing for a man to worship higher than Christ is a woman or some other person on this earth. Because, of course, people are made in the image of God. And so men are worshiping women. Some men wake up with the mindset of, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do in everything in my own strength in order to get as many women liking me and potentially in sexual relationship with me as I possibly can? That is disgusting. But you see that spirit happening. Okay? So above all, I see a general spirit in North America and in the West in particular, which is to live for the now. It's just a general caught up with this world and this present age. Just all the words on our mouths. All the words on our mouths. All the thoughts in our minds. Even if we are doing good, our mindset is about, oh, how can we do good to help people with their lives right now? Rather than how can we help people get saved from hell and lay up treasure in heaven. Gee, I was meditating on this earlier this week. You know, at how Jesus, there were lots of social problems in Jesus' day. There were lots of government problems. There were lots of social problems. There were lots of money, economic, complaints with the people and this, that, and the other thing. Jesus did not spend the majority of his time talking about the social problems of the Roman government. And we see Christians today just caught up in making, this present life a better place, and how can we help people for this short time that they're on earth, Let's get caught up in political discussions and, social issues, and people are going to hell. They're going to an eternity of fire. Jesus talked about hell far more than he talked about social programs of the current government. We are so far from eternal mindedness. This is a big one in Canada. Oh, a good man is someone who helps other people for this present life without convicting them of the truth of Christ and the reality of impending eternity. It's a paradigm. Christians need to really get this fixed in their mind. And young people, like What is your definition of doing good for someone else? In my opinion, it's imparting to them the truth that will convict them of the glory of God, convict them of the sin they need to repent of, and get them saved and obeying the greatest commandments of God, which is loving God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and loving your neighbor as yourself, and understanding and seeing that this entire story is perfect for Jesus and the Triune God. The big picture, I call it. The eternal things, I call it. What you're going to care about the moment you die, and you're standing before the Trinity. And they're going to look at you, and you're going to look at them, and it's just going to hit you like a flood. Why in the world did I not understand anything that the world was, and what the whole story was, and who it was all for, and who it was all by, before I'm now here? Okay? We were caught up in temporary, things rather than eternal things. So, love, do good, bless, pray. That's awesome. Yeah. So, I think eternal mindedness is important. And again, back to what Jesus talked about. Jesus talked about eternity all the time. And I just fear that in this modern age, I think the spirit of North America is like, it's like if North America was to really get saved en masse, we would be focused on taking the gospel to the unreached people groups of the world. We wouldn't be sitting here staring at each other in many ways. Okay, I don't want to go there too much, but I just would encourage people, step back from a lot of focus on social issues and government issues and politics rather than the things of eternity, And so I just keep coming back to the red letters of Jesus, and that'll refocus us. That'll always refocus us. Okay, but that was an awesome gem. So I'm probably going to stop this video now. That's awesome. Love, do good, bless, pray. And this is in the context of your enemies, which is mind-blowing. Love your enemies. Like, who are you supposed to love and do good to and bless and pray? People that don't like you. But the truth is, if you will actually do this, you can do this. Jesus didn't tell us to do something that we were incapable of doing. If we actually decide to do these things, it's just a decision. Say, you know what? I'm actually going to take some time tonight to pray for someone that I don't like. And if you can't think of one person on this planet that you don't like, you're not being honest with yourself. Okay. Listen to this. Love your enemies, the bad guys. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you. Pray for those who despitefully use you. Whoa! So I encourage you, I'm probably just going to do this experiment right now. I encourage you to do this experiment. Just take a half an hour as an experiment. I love experimenting. Take a half an hour as an experiment and just say, okay, I'm going to take a half an hour and I'm going to willfully pray for people that I can think of in my mind that I really don't like. And that have really annoyed me at some point in my life. Do the experiment and see how you feel at the end of half an hour. And just see what it does to you. What a great experiment. Let's do it. Experiment. So I'm probably going to try doing that. Okay. And but in my opinion, this writing on the wall that we're currently staring at is more beneficial and is more important to the world than Einstein's equation E equals mc squared. Because that doesn't inspire me to love people, or do good to people, or bless people, or pray for people, which is the true healing of the world. proper human behavior and treatment of each other. Einstein's equation just tells me something about God's creation and the law of the scientific law of the universe. But these equations actually mean something to me. These equations tell me what to do as a human being on this planet for my best happiness, others' best happiness, God's best happiness, and if an entire world would stare at these equations from their youth, we would have a far happier planet. That is free. Free from what? Free from sin. Free from not doing what we're not supposed to be doing. That's awesome. Love, do good, bless, pray. I'm just going to focus on those. I'm going to try and put those into practice. I'm probably going to do the prayer for the enemies thing as an experiment. Maybe set a clock for 15 minutes or just go with the Holy Ghost. And so this can be taught in all of our schools, and it should be. So we're going to take a break. Probably be right back. All man equals 33. That is amazing. Like just, maybe I'll zoom in on that. Just, I would encourage you to even just write those. And then what was the sum of here plus do? And then the ETH, heareth and doeth, that adds another 33. As it's written in the King James, he who heareth and doeth. So now we've heard. Now we've heard. Now if we try an experiment, of doing these things, like the easiest one you can do right now is try praying for 15 minutes even. For someone or a couple people or a group of people that you honestly don't like. And just see what you feel like at the end of the 15 minutes. See if Jesus is true. See if this is a good thing. That heals your own soul and just whatever. So what is hear and do? That's 33 plus, that's 39 plus 12 is 51. Oh yeah. And then when you add 33 and 33 for the F's, that bumps it up to 117, I think, mathematician, 84, yeah. So heareth plus doeth equals mathematician, equals 117. And then you can find love. Heareth plus doeth. Isn't that cool? Some preacher I remember said it pretty succinctly like this. He said, all of us really only have one of two problems. We either have a truth problem, that is to say a knowledge problem, or an obedience problem. We either don't know the truth and we're not doing it, or we do know the truth and we're not doing it. We need to have both. We need to hear and we need to do. But I just love, so now this is a mathematical equation that has been knit together, proven mathematically for the glory of the Trinity. So now if kids are taught this glory mathematically in Sunday school and in all schools, they're going to remember it and they're going to say, you know what? I need to hear what Jesus said, but if that's not enough, I need to do it because I have knit these two together mathematically. And I can now see it's two things. And it's two things. Like it's not more than two. It's two things. I can, man, I'm looking very large on camera there. It's two things. It's like, I can hear, yeah, that I can do. I can hear the truth. I can read what Jesus said. And then the second thing, just like I have two hands, is do. Okay, I can do that. I hear it, I learn it, and then I do it. Whoa, the word learn is together with do. That's awesome. Learn, and then do. It's real obvious, because this is a 3 fast here, and then this N is together with the D to make 18. So learn plus do. Same thing as here plus do. What is that? 18. Was it 36? Wow, learn plus do equals 69 equals Jehovah. And I found love in that. Learn, first you learn, and then you do. Learn plus do. Is that all on camera? I'm feeling very zoomed in here. Yeah. Learn, and then the word first divides by 3, and the word second divides by 3. So you can say this. Learn first, do second. Hear first, do second. All that divides by 3. And then we need to actually do that. And then, because we are somewhat a knowledge addicted generation, we need to, and God is speaking to me about balance. Say, okay, now we've preached on this, and now actually do the experiment, like take 20 minutes and pray for someone that you don't like. Choose the person you don't like at all. Oh man, okay. That's amazing though. So learn plus do. So here's love. Literally the first letters up until the O of learn plus do is love. And then O adds it to Jehovah, 69. And then find love in heareth plus doeth. And you can do the same thing, learneth plus doeth. And then find an additional love. That's insane because that would add 66 points to the 69 we have already. That's obvious. And then stunningly, that makes love plus half a love perfectly, 135. So learneth plus doeth is even better, or just as good as heareth plus doeth. And then so you pop off 9 points, and then you get the rest is love plus love. Oh man, plus 33. Hello!
How are you doing?
Aha!